Hello folks, welcome to episode 6 of Stationeers. It's been a long time since I recorded the last episode, Christmas has happened, and I've got myself a new base since last time. And because I thought we were at the end of the road what we could do with the last base, and because bad design decisions, and also the fact that we'd started from day one of the game's launch in early access. So it was all a bit kind of like tangled, and we couldn't really rescue it too much. And also something fell down a great big pit. Let's not talk about that. So I thought what I'd do is get a new base going that is actually a little bit, how it should be. Not perfect, but it'll do. It's about at the same level as it was last time. But now we've got all the things that you actually get from the start with a new save, which we didn't get last time. An entire new crate, I think it's called the consumable supplies. But in this new base, I've already stocked up my larders. So I've got plenty of that, plenty of this, and plenty of the other, including all the new stuff like spray paints and labellers and flares and all the crappy organics from before. This episode, what we'll do is we'll actually have a look at batteries, stationary batteries, and how you can use them to actually keep your power flowing a bit more. A bit more, really. We seem to have actually used up all the power. Let's stop that charging for now. So just very quickly, let me just show you. I've got rid of all the automated solar panel stuff for now and just replaced it with 2, which will give us a little bit of power. Nothing great, but it'll do for now. And because the automated stuff was a bit crap. Because you're not really... I set it up using a computer logic, but since I filmed that episode, they actually introduced a load of logic gates, so you can make loads of logic circuits, and that's a better way of doing it. And what I will actually show off is also the tracking beacon, which I could have actually done with earlier on in the series, which would have been a lot nicer. Is it switched on? It is now. Right. So you just use your e-reader with the... Hang on. Let's get that open. With the tracker cartridge in. And if you switch it on and scroll using mouse wheel, there we go. We actually have our little... where it is. You might have to press F2 if you actually want to be able to see the whole thing. And there you go. So if you go mining for all your bits and bobs, like down there, you'll always be able to find your way back. However, since it is battery powered, it does mean... Actually, I'm going to switch my helmet light off. I keep on forgetting. There we go. Anyway, I can't remember where that sentence was going now. Anyway, so you can always get back when you've actually done some mining. So there's some incredibly token mining. Where's my base? I know it's there, but I better consult my tracker. There it is. Everything is now sorted. Hooray. Right, switch that off. Don't need that anymore. Make sure I switch the tracking beacon off, because, the battery is quite small, and the sun is going down now. Oh, gold. So, yes, I'm very keen on not making this series too much of a instructional one, aimed at engineering students. Very dry and technical. And to be honest, it's been a long, long time since I used proper logic in computer science and stuff like that, so you might be on your own there. I'll just treat this as more of a Let's Play experimental stuff series. I do want to find out things for myself. I do read the comments and everything, but I do like to investigate. So I have actually been investigating with all the batteries and things like that. It's getting very dark in here. All on my own. And I've discovered I actually had to look up a bit about transformers, which is what we're going to have to put into action. Trouble is... I'm going to have to put my light on, aren't I? There we go. I was going to say the trouble is we need lights, but then I remembered we actually have a light. So, whatever. Let's get rid of all that. Can't be bothered to do any proper ass mining. I did actually get a little bit of ore, which we may as well bung in our cupboard of dreams. There we go. Right, so we actually haven't got any power going into that at the moment. We've almost charged those. And I'm tempted to actually just finish it off with a little bit of extra coal. And there we go. So this new design, this new base design, is still not perfect. I've started to cram it in a little bit because it takes forever to actually get the iron frames sorted. And this area is, this is the power area, so that goes up to 2 solar panels, and that's the solid fuel generator going to APC to make sure the power is nice and regulated. So anything that's drawing power from here won't blow up any of the wires. It turns out wires, I think, will blow if you go over, I think it's 5,000 watts or something like that. So that makes sure that doesn't happen. But if you want to add a stationary battery to the network, which is a great big massive battery that will store excess power and then give it out as necessary, then because the battery has infinite draw, it will just blow up wires if you try and wire it indirectly. So we need to actually put a transformer in front of it, which we'll go through the motions of doing now. I've already tried this. I experimented a few times, like putting the transformer in different places before the APC, after the APC, and the batteries as well. I mean, I tried a few things, and eventually one seemed to work. It's not brilliant, and I wouldn't call this a how-to guide, but it does actually get the battery onto our grid, and we can change it later on as things get more complicated. First thing I've got to do is work out where I'm actually going to put the damn thing. And once I've just done a little bit of moving things around my inventory, press 5. There, my mining belt is now stored safely away. Right, so we need a battery. Well, I say I've actually tried it two ways. I've tried putting the battery kind of like here-ish and feeding into the network here. And then the kind of like the battery draws power from the APC, and it's a bit, yeah, I don't think it's actually making the full use of it. So I thought the best thing to do is put a battery kind of here-ish in the circuit. So the battery, the new wire will come off here, go through a transformer, into the battery, and then it'll feed it directly back onto the cable. So it is a bit of a weird loop-ass thing, but it'll do. Unfortunately, I just really don't have much room here. I'm trying to work out where the best thing to do is. And solid power generator, well, this I want to be a future room. Although I'm starting to think maybe that's actually a bad idea. Maybe we should actually just keep this as a, yeah, sod it. I've got to try and work out what this is. If this is an iron frame, I think I might be able to take this down. Remember how to do that. Remember which tool to use. Deconstruct iron frame. I've been using some iron walls and things like that. Oh god, that's the stairs. That's the outside stairs. I'm wondering whether I should, nah. Is the answer to that one? So, I can, what is that one? That's a welder. That's putting that there. I just want to put a wall up. That'll do. Guess so. And this is just officially a wall now, so quickly grab the... I've actually even got it. I've got one iron sheet. It'll do for now. So get my non-explosive welder out. I don't think welders explode at all now. If you remember from the end of episode 1, there's a bug in the game which made welders explode in the sunlight. Must be on? Am I even using the right thing here? Oh no, I actually don't need to even do that. I don't even need the welder for this. No, that's fine. That's actually not quite what I meant. But it'll do. It'll do. I'm not sure if that's going to be airtight if we eventually end up doing any kind of airlock stuff. Right, anyway, let's try and get rid of this temporarily. Which means we've got no... Oh, we've got some coal in there. Now let's just sort our hands out. Grab you, put the coal back in there. So, what we're going to do, I think, is have... Let's see. I think if I put the... This is the wiring. I think I'm going to have to change the wiring somewhat. I might even want more than one battery, but then to be honest, I'm not quite sure how that would work with transformers. So what I might do... This is like a supplier, so... I could actually put the solid generator here, although it's going to be a bit tight. Also, it's going to get in the way of stuff. Okay, let's put it... Which way round? I think that'll work. It's a bit shoved up against the wall, but it should do. And then I can run a wire kind of like to here, and then we can put the battery and the transformer type stuff here. Okay, so I'm just full disclosure of what I've been doing. I've actually already built a battery and a transformer small. Those are taken from here. Not a battery cell, but an actual kit battery, which is quite a lot of this stuff. There is kit battery, which requires gold, copper, and steel. A lot of each, 20 of each. So you will have to do quite a bit of mining for this great big bugger. And also, what else are we doing? We're doing a transformer. Oh, there we go. Transformer small, which requires iron, a little bit of gold, and a little bit of copper. A big one, steel and electrum. We're not going to be doing that anytime soon because electrum is a weird furnace thing, and balls to it, frankly. So you can actually make, I think it's using a fabricator, possibly, or maybe something else, but you can actually make kind of like more heavy-duty wire. But for the sake of what we're doing at the moment, we're not going to do that. We're just going to see how transformers can actually help us out. I really should put in a proper floor. I actually experimented with putting some of this down, and it just looked bulky and weird. So sod it. Okay, let's get out our battery and our transformer. So there's going to be the wire is eventually going to go probably around here-ish, I guess. I'm trying to keep everything nice and tidy. So the wire needs to go to the transformer first. We don't actually want to. I want to put the transformer so we can actually see it. The battery less important. So let's have it. So the wire is going to come through the thing. Let's have it there, so we actually can see everything that we need. And nothing else is that important. So that's the input. The transformer will go. It needs to go left to right. So can I put it there-ish? It's rammed right up against it, but never mind. Then we can get our wiring out. We'll probably actually have to make some more of this. In fact, yes, we'll definitely need some more wire. So, build cable coil already usefully on there. Do we have any copper? No, we don't. I think the copper is in here at the moment. So, just switch that on. Eject everything. Switch it off. We only need the copper. So let's just quickly bung that in. At some point I want to get into conveyor belts and chutes and things. Very Factorio-ish. But not for now. So, we've now got some copper in there. We'll probably need about 5 or 6, I reckon. But in the meantime, let's actually start building what we need. Swivel that round. Swivel it round again. So that's the output going into the input of the battery thing. And the output just needs to kind of like come out here. First of all, I think I'm getting, my arse is currently getting cabled. There it is. Oh well. So that goes out there. That goes out there. And then it'll all join up in a beautiful ballet of stuff. I'm going to stop that before it gets out even more out of hand. Stop! Oh, there we go. I was in build mode. Right, just grab all that. Switch it off. And then we just have to make a shit ton of this garbage. Right. This is going to be fun. Oop. A bit of corner wire. Now we need a few kind of junctiony type things. One there and one there. Oh, in fact, we just need those two. Bit of extra straight action. It doesn't really matter that it all kind of seems to feed into one another. I mean, the ordering doesn't matter. At least I hope not, anyway. And finally, a bit of corner. So, just going to double check my work. The power is going to come in from, well, either side. It doesn't really matter. Upstairs from the solar, and the solid stuff is going to come down the wire, and then it's going to. That's the output, so we don't need to worry about that. The power is going to come into here through the transformer, and then into the main battery itself. Fill that up, and anything that needs to draw on it will do so from over here and stuff. I'm just trying to think whether it should actually be on this side of the APC or the other side. I think I've tried it both ways. I can't remember. I think this is the better way round. I think. It actually did work over here. What was the problem with that? Can't remember. Well, we'll see. We'll see if this is the right way of doing it as we go. Now, the first thing I need to do is the transformer means it so that it basically dials down the power that the battery is trying to get from the grid. Because if it tries to draw over 5,000 watts, wires will blow. And it'll just take down the network, which is annoying. Oh, it looks like I can switch that on again. I think the solar power is coming on at the moment. So the transformer basically dials that down. At the moment it's actually 0. So let's switch it up to about 3,000. So that'll limit it. It won't pull in more than 3,000 at once, instead of 5,000 or more and then just blow everything up. I actually do need some power. So just grab you. Just double swap, put it back in. And all for the good. Actually, what I should be doing, I mean, this is the battery charger just draw more power than is actually being supplied. But we can actually, I haven't actually been doing this, but you can actually, where is it? The network analyzer. We need the network analyzer in our little doohickey. So let's just do the old switcheroo and put that into the... God, this is complicated. Put that into the thing. And with any luck... Ah, here we go. Yep. So, let's get rid of that. So, it normally shows nothing, but if you point it at any wire, it'll tell you what's going on. So, there's that. At the moment, in the solar power is only generating 500 watts. But we actually need 3 times as much of that, because that's what's needed over here. The battery charger, if you look at this, which is actually a different, classified as a different network, I think, we actually have 500 watts wanted, but potential... Oh, god damn it. It's confusing. But you can use that to actually work out if things are like pulling in too much power. And at the moment, yes, we actually need 3 times more power. What we could do is put in a bit of coal into our generator, which I actually originally shoved too close to the wall, but actually off-camera moved it. So let's have a look. Let's put some coal in. Let's see if anything blows up when we do this. I'm just going to get everything back. Hang on. Just want to make sure that nothing's going to blow up. Switch that on. No, I think we're good. So now, it's a bit ropey, but we can tell the potential energy is now ludicrously high. Actually, I don't think we've actually got any... Oh, the batteries have... No, I don't know. No, that battery's now full. Anyway, yes, that thing over there can put out absolutely loads of power, is the whole point. Anyway, let's forget all that stuff for now. You can use that. It's all very intellectual or something. That yellow one, is that charging? Oh, it is, yeah. It's just that because we've got so much going into the grid that that'll actually stay as blue most of the time. Anyway, let's get rid of this. Let's actually switch on our thing. So switch on the transformer, which is limited to 3000. Switch that on. And now it is going through the slow process of actually charging up. I don't know how much this holds. But, yeah. So, we can actually look at this. And switch on again. And it actually has increased potential and blah, blah, blah. In fact, let me switch this off. Fortunately, you haven't got the display. You can't actually see what you're aiming at. So we've got a 3.2 kilowatt potential, actual 3.1, required a little more, just a little more than that. So for the charging. So, well, we need to actually leave this charging a bit. I think that's the whole thing. Because that's not going to be useful at the moment. But, actually, we are already on solar power again, aren't we? That is the sun going up, isn't it? Yes, it is. I'm just going to double check. We are getting power now. 86 watts. Oh, yeah, just a little bit. Whee! Plop. Oh, there's a bit of rogue iron framery there. Just going to leave that. Switch that on. Yep, that's all switched off. So just have a quick check to see what we're actually getting at the moment. 3 kilo. Let me switch that off. So now the actual usage is only 25 watts. Switch it back on again. And the actual usage is 3 kilowatts because that's what this is limited to. So it's trying to pull in all that from the existing grid. But there isn't actually that at the moment. Although it seems to be... whatever. So now I think there's going to be lots of power going to the grid, so I can let that happen. Shall I switch that on? Nah. I just want to kind of wait and see to see if anything explodes or anything. I don't think it should. I'm just doing a bit of busy work. Furnacing. Part of it is just like a stress test. Is that iron? No, steel. What's steel doing there? Anyway, building a new solar panel. Which will all add to the power grid. I just get a feeling like if I do anything else, something will blow up or something. But it's been all good so far, which I'm actually quite surprised by. I thought I made one key mistake. I probably have. But anyway. just quickly whip up this solar panel. Again, I'm not using automated stuff this time. I'm just using sheer quantity of solar panelage. So I'm going to leave that pointing kind of like vertical, or horizontal, whatever you want to call it. These are at 30 and 70. Haven't really done any tests on this, but I reckon if I do it, change that to 2080, that'll do a bit more kind of like comprehensive coverage and supply more power. Once, of course, I've wired it up. Don't you use much glass? Oh, I haven't got any wire. Well, fine. Only need a little bit more. Do a bit more stress testing, I guess. Oh, I've moved all the copper from one place to the other. Oh, I've made an extra solar... Oh, bloody hell. I made 2. Oh, well. That's actually not a problem, because I'll wire that in as well, and we'll have solar for days. This is completely full, so that doesn't need to be filled up at the moment. This still on the red blinking thing. Doesn't seem very much. Oh! Hey, look at that! A wire did explode. I wonder when that was. So the coal isn't working at the moment. Not sure which point of the experiment that will have been in. Right, so I just need to actually first of all get rid of the old stuff. Put the new stuff in. I reckon it was I'm going to dial this back down to about that. It was that. It wasn't lit up. Well, fine. Maybe it wasn't working. Maybe it hasn't been charging this whole time. I don't think anything else has blown up. See, this is why I think I'm doing it wrong. And that's if I do actually stress test it too much, it will blow up. And because, at the moment, this cable network is carrying 4,000 watts. And because that's basically 3,500 here, and 500 because it's currently charging one of the old batteries. Look, we've got 510, and this over here. This is actually its own separate network. This requires the 3,500, adding up to 4, actual of 4. So if that actually gets over 5, it'll blow up. So even this system at the moment is fragile. If you put too much of a load on it, which is not much more than what we've got at the moment, it will blow up. So I could theoretically turn that down a bit to like 3,000 watts, which will give us a bit of headroom. But it still doesn't feel correct, and that bothers me. Oops. So there's definitely something wrong with that. So I've actually moved it. I was going to move it over here, like I did with my previous experiments, but instead I just moved it slightly over here and rewired it so the battery and the transformer are after the APC. And I'm hoping that just will improve things a lot. And because, it should stop... if it's after the APC, surely the whole point of the APC is to stop things exploding. But... we'll see. We'll now see if the damn thing actually charges. Because I think sometimes when it's not actually working, it sometimes does blink red. And there were... I did actually look around the previous wiring setup, and there was actually a couple more breakages here and there, which I didn't actually notice previously. So fingers crossed, this is now going to actually charge up. Now it's actually like taking stuff out of the grid and putting it back in again, or whatever. There's nothing actually requiring any power at the moment, but we'll see what happens in a bit. Okay, so this is, in theory, actually working. It's just that there is, it's sucking up a hell of a lot of power. From the solar panels up there, we are actually getting around 1,000 watts from our 4 things. It does fluctuate quite a bit because obviously the sun isn't precise and all that. It's actually going down a bit now. Actually, is the time of day. It's pretty midday-ish. So we are getting 1,000, but what we need is 4,000. And this alone, we know this requires... it's 3,000 it requires. So this is soaking up a lot of stuff. At the moment, it's not actually doing anything. The battery is now dead. I might as well switch off. Well, that's not really using much. So we just need to, in theory, just need to supply it with more power then. We could always do this, of course. That's already switched on. So, yes, that's more like it. Potential is 20,000 watts now. But of course, we've actually dialed it down, so we're only actually requiring 4. So only 4 is going into here, I think. Hang on, let's just double check that. Yeah, only 4,000 watts is going into here, so there's no potential explosions here. And this is controlling everything, so we are actually getting 3,000 into here and supplying it with power. We've actually managed to fill it up 1 bar, which is a small victory, but a victory nonetheless. It's gone red now. It's because we are... Is it? Nothing's blown up, is it? No, I think we're okay. I think it's just that... Oh, there we go. It is actually charging up. So we are actually putting in more than we're taking out. So, oh, there we go! Yes, there we go. We finally are actually definitely charging it up. So yes, you do actually have to put it after the APC. Putting it before it just didn't seem to work, really. Okay, so the very final thing, we just need to do a quick test just to make sure that we are able to draw out the stored power here without actually any weird fiddling. Ah, this is good. Right, so the coal is finished and we're not getting enough power into the grid now. As you can see, the battery is now red, so if we try to do anything over here... Oh, there's actually a little bit of... Oh, that's good! No, that's actually good. I'm just trying to make sure that it's 100% obvious here. So let's turn this off. So literally no power is now coming out of anything here. So this is purely... The only way this could actually work is if the battery is actually supplying us with power. And it is indeed switched on. It's only like negligible power. But let's just demonstrate. If we switch the battery off, then that goes off. Switch it back on. That goes back on. So we are able to draw power from the supplies here. Apparently this gives off a lot of heat, though. It's not a problem at the moment because we're not worrying about like a pressured base or whatever. But that's something to think about as you go along. Let's just switch that back on again. So there's actually a small amount of sunshine. But anyway, yep, so that's it. So yeah, that's, in summary, transformer, battery, after the APC, and don't... Well, I suppose you could set up a bit higher than that, but I want to give myself some headroom. And I think it's actually working, believe it or not, after a bit of a false start with the thing over here. But yeah, I think we're all good to go. So we'll stop here. It'll inevitably turn out to be the longest episode ever, again, as usual. And we'll pick this up again soon, if I don't completely have a brain meltdown and not able to do anything else, which I'm sure the point of that is coming very soon, where it just gets completely beyond me and everything just falls into chaos. But I do want to have a good look at airlocks if nothing else, because that seems to be the thing to do. So yep, join us next time. Do subscribe to the channel to be notified when new episodes go live, and I'll see you next time.